Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. Duchess Meghan was recently spotted at a photo shared by her friend Kelly at a close friend's baby shower. And look at how radiant she looks. The hair, the dress, the skin, the smile. Love that for her. Now this is the dress in question, and I don't know how the fashion girlies do it, but they're able to find that dress and sell it out. So the Meghan effect is still very real. It's this beautiful sort of pale pink linen midi dress. Yeah, she looks fabulous. I love that. Prince Harry joined the Christmas party for bereaved military children. The Duke of Sussex took part in a virtual holiday party with Scotty's little soldiers this past Tuesday. The Duke was quoted as saying to the children, "You've got a lot of people who love you." And as you can see, Prince Harry right to the top there wearing a Santa hat and a smile. So cute.
Sometimes, and this is one of those times, believe me, the headline tells the full story. Harry, the media magnate, gets priority in the headline, and the majority of the text is dedicated to him, as Harry is lauded, quite correctly, for having remote calls with bereaved children. Harry's on the international stage, supporting the children that really need it. And I absolutely loved Harry's eloquence in the story, if you want to find it, where he talks about reminding the children that they have a network of people around them who love them, and this time of year it's okay to have any feelings you want. He's speaking to children and explaining that at Christmas there's a lot of pressure on us to be happy individuals and perform exceptionally with our families, and it's okay if you don't feel like that. This guy has just got the gift of the script, but he doesn't need a script, because what he feels and what he says is in his heart and in his head. It just comes out naturally, no preparation, just lots of empathy and lots of support.
Prince Harry's memoir Spare is number 4 for the top 10 audiobooks in the UK of 2024. Nicely done. And in keeping with news of Prince Harry, Travalyst has hired a new chair of the board and expands its coalition. The ex-Google executive, Gianni, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I will butcher it, is now the new chair of the board for Travalyst. Travalyst, the not-for-profit coalition of some of the biggest names in travel and technology, which is founded by Prince Harry, welcomes the Travel Corporation to its global coalition. Talk about making big moves. Meanwhile, Kensington Palace is losing yet another one of their staff members. I don't know what's going on over there, but there seems to be a lot of departures. William's former right-hand man, and now this one. Interesting. Team Australia of Invictus Australia has revealed their striking new uniforms for the upcoming games.
I did catch myself staring at it for a good few seconds there, a bit of a grin on my face, and then to look at the design and all the work that's gone into it is pretty special.
So within the artwork, you can see some symbols of circles. Those circles mean connection. There's also some other symbols of footprints, and these footprints are about moving together, using each other on their journey of rehabilitation and moving forward as a team.
To walk out in front of, a sold out stadium for an opening ceremony in an amazing bit of kit in front of all our family and friends and the rest of the countries that are involved. What an amazing experience, and I don't think you can put it into words what it'll feel like, but I'll let you know afterwards.
I've been enjoying reading the comments from so many of you talking about your thoughts on the Polo on Netflix docuseries. And there was this article that did a pretty fantastic job of covering the synopsis of the series that I wanted to share with you guys. It's entitled A World of Elegance and Adrenaline. Docuseries on popular sports like football, cricket, and tennis are abundant. However, Polo on Netflix is a refreshing dive into a sport less explored on screen. Focused on the US Open Polo Championship, this captivating documentary not only introduces viewers to the world's top players, but also demystifies the game of polo, its rules, and its intricate dynamics. The documentary opens with an introduction to Timmy Dutta, a rising star in the polo world. As a young and passionate player, Timmy represents the new wave of talent in this traditionally elite sport. His journey is deeply intertwined with his family, particularly his parents, Susie and Tim. While their wealth provides Timmy with access to top-notch training and opportunities, it's clear that expectations are high. His father's stern demeanor and critical eye during matches highlight the pressures Timmy faces, proving that privilege doesn't exempt him from the challenges of excelling in such a demanding sport. The documentary doesn't stop at Timmy's story. It also delves into the lives of significant figures in the polo world, including the legendary Adolfo and his son Porto. The father-son dynamic showcases the generational transfer of skill and passion, offering a heartfelt perspective on what it takes to maintain excellence in polo. Lewis's story adds further depth, revealing the sacrifices and dedication required by the players to balance their personal and professional lives. What sets polo apart is its ability to blend the personal stories of the players with a detailed exploration of the sport itself. Viewers unfamiliar with polo will find the breakdown of its rules, strategies, and cultural significance enlightening. The documentary captures the adrenaline-pumping intensity of matches, the graceful coordination between players and their horses, and the sheer physical and mental demands of the game. Beyond the game, the documentary offers glimpses into the players' off-field lives, revealing the toll polo takes on their relationships and physical well-being. We see a new dad getting ready to win a U.S. Open, and also to welcome his newborn daughter. From grueling training sessions to moments of triumph and heartbreak on the field, every frame resonates with authenticity. The documentary does an exceptional job of breaking down the fundamentals for the complete novice, and begins by explaining the rules of polo, the roles of players, and even the unique bond between riders and their horses. The detailed narration and engaging visuals transform what might have seemed like a complicated game into something accessible and exciting. From understanding the scoring system to recognizing the significance of teamwork and precision, I felt as though I was being guided on a personal coach through this new world. Ultimately, Polo, a world of elegance and adrenaline, is more than just a sports documentary. It's an intimate portrait of ambition, tradition, and the human spirit. Whether you're a seasoned polo enthusiast or a newcomer curious about this regal sport, this Netflix gem promises an informative and enthralling experience. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Remember this fabulous picture of Meghan and Harry? Well, we finally see where this event happened, which was the Centerville event, polo event. So it's on the 5th episode of the polo series that is now on Netflix. And we see both of them there with the guests. She's speaking in Spanish, and she speaks very well Spanish with a South American accent. He scores a goal. It's all very fabulous. We also see the kid, and it's all very lovely. And obviously the whole event's for charity, so it's all in the good cause. So some of the best players of the world have all come together for this particular event. Fabulous. Then the rest of the episode goes back to the US Open, which is, it's fun. There is one scene which I found quite interesting, was when Pamela, which is Lewis's husband, she's pregnant, and she talks about how she feels that since being pregnant, because she also is a polo player, and she's not ridden a horse since she's become pregnant, and how she felt, she's really lost herself, part of herself, because of that. And she just sits on a horse for a little while, and that's quite beautiful.
So this is not my usual content, giving reviews on reality television, but this is my new secret obsession, and I need to talk to someone about it. So Netflix just took out this docu-series reality TV show about the sport of polo. For those who don't know, this is what they do. They hit a little ball on top of a horse. Anyways, that's not even the point. The point is that I have never been big on reality television because seriously, I'm just sick of watching middle-aged women fight over who attended whose party or throwing drinks at each other. I'm so past beyond that. But this is good because for once, it's not about the cat fights between the ladies, but we get to see all of the men's insecurities. So polo is definitely the sport of the privileged and rich. This is not for the everyday Joe because it's a lot of money that goes into these horses and these tournaments or whatever. But just in the first episode, they let you into everyone's dirty little secrets, how some families had had to sell their homes to be able to play the sport and stay relevant, and you know how people are not as rich as they say they are, and they still put every single penny they have into the sport. So pretty much we get all these middle-aged men pretty much scream at each other, scream at their children, and spend all their waking moment on a horse, screaming about a horse in a tiny little ball. And then we have the Duda family. These people are something else. But the funniest thing is that this is Tim and this is Timmy. Now we have Tim, who literally spends every penny he has on making his son a polo star. But then little Timmy is kind of resentful because his father puts a lot of pressure on him, but at the same time he also wants to win. And then we have his mom, who we see as a very mild character woman, but really she's the one running the show. She gives them suggestions, but it's really like her feeding them her ideas, and then they put her ideas to work but take the credit for it. But she doesn't give because at the end of the day, they do what she says. I mean, it's insane. I love it. Give me more. I want 20 seasons.
The Jamaican government has taken its first step toward removing King Charles as head of state, presenting a bill in Parliament to abolish the constitutional monarchy and transition the country to a republic. Like other colonies, the Caribbean nation of Jamaica retained the British monarch as head of state after independence in 1962.
Jamaica's government has taken the first step towards removing King Charles as its head of state, tabling a bill to abolish the constitutional monarchy and transition to a republic. Despite gaining independence in 1962, it's one of many former colonies where the British monarch still has a leading role. The bill has yet to go to a parliamentary vote and national referendum. The last country to do this was Barbados in 2021.
So I'm scrolling on social media, as one does, and I saw this post about a palace Christmas party punch-up, and I just had to dig in. So apparently, a Buckingham Palace maid was arrested for assaulting a pub manager after a staff Christmas party. How uncivilized. What in the world is going on over there? It honestly feels like after Queen Elizabeth, it's the Wild Wild West. Imagine if this was a staff member of Archwell. This would have been plastered all over the British press for weeks. Not only that, but I was reading about Andrew's advisor being banned in the UK for fears of being a spy. And this has made headline news here in the US as well, because I read an article from Bloomberg, I believe. So along with the conversations about Andrew's finances and the conversations about Charles allegedly not funding him anymore, there was a lot of speculation as to like what he's doing, right? Where is he getting the money? And allegedly, a Chinese spy who formed an unusual degree of trust with the Duke of York. They always seem to have close relationships with questionable people, don't they? But this unusual degree of trust with the Duke of York has now been banned from the UK after a judgment was made by the UK's semi-secret National Security Court. Good Lord. The man, known as H6, is described as a close confidant to Prince Andrew, brought an appeal against his initial ban, but the decision was upheld by the court. Judges were told that the businessman was attempting to leverage Prince Andrew's influence. That sounds familiar. Buckingham Palace has declined to comment, saying that they do not act for the prince, who is no longer a working royal. It's interesting when they choose to bob and weave as to when they give comments about Andrew and when they don't. Same thing with the Sussexes. Oh, they no longer represent the crown, we no longer comment, but then they'll comment in a different way via, those unnamed sources. Instead of focusing on Harry and Meghan's Polo documentary and Harry and Meghan's foundations and harassing friends of Harry and Meghan to find a morsel of something that they can stretch and create into some sort of scandal, this is who they should be focusing on. But the British press is not going to do that, are they? We'll see where this story leads.
Dear UK media and tabloids, if this woman makes you so mad, stop making her look so good. And anyone she's with. So this is from the other day where Meghan Markle was on the red carpet to celebrate her friend Tyler Perry. And the UK media was not happy about that. Oh no, the Express said Meghan Markle's friend Tyler Perry's tense response when asked about the Sussexes. Well, firstly, he said, they love each other, they have a beautiful family, and I just want the best for them. Don't we all? But he did go on. He said, but I will say this, what I learned about mentioning them, because there is this insatiable appetite to know all about them, is that any question that is asked becomes the headline of anything I say. And what happened? They just carried on anyway. The Independent, Tyler Perry has harsh response to question about helping Meghan Markle leave the royal family. The Times had a story, Tyler Perry, the billionaire who lent Harry and Meghan his LA home. The Mirror, copy and paste, Tyler Perry's very blunt response when asked about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The Express again, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's pal gives rare insight into the Sussexes' beautiful family. And the Daily Mail, of course the Daily Mail had to say something. Tyler Perry just confirmed my worst fears for the royal family with 2 blunt words. What was it? Piss off? Thankfully, I can't tell you because I'm not going to waste my money on this. And just further proof, he also said this about his relationship with Meghan. It is real and pure and beautiful friendship. I love them. I didn't see that in the headlines. And as always, stay mad.
Let me ask you something and contextualize it for a second. This woman is the first biracial woman to enter the royal family that close in the line of succession. Okay? The British UK royal family. Do you really think she was treated well and well received by the conservative workers in that home as well as the people who lived there? Do you think the staff, who automatically, because of the color of their skin, felt they were better than this woman? Do you really believe the group of people who have been told, now they're the commoners, but they're certainly not the elite. They're the staff. But even they have been taught because of their skin tone, they're better than this woman. Do you think they were able to meet her and greet her and receive her with open arms?
Oh, look at Prince William enjoying himself. Imagine being in the unfortunate position of being homeless and you go and get your Christmas dinner and you have to receive it from that grinning Oh, it's all a jolly day out for Prince William, isn't it? Okay, all right, I know that's not true. He wouldn't have been there for a day. Probably there for an hour, max. The media loves to point out that he's doing it 30 years after his mum, Princess Diana, took him when he was a kid. Oh, such progress. There's more homelessness now than ever before. He's making sure George visits as well. So in 30 years, he too can lark around serving food to the peasants before helicoptering back to his castle. This is the true pantomime of Christmas. And who will be dressing up as a dame? My money's on Prince Edward.
So the other day, People magazine came out and said, revenge dress redux, Princess Diane's twin nieces, Amelia and Eliza Spencer, channeled the late icon Swipe. And this is what they channeled in their auntie. This is them there. And I think they did a pretty damn good job. I mean, nobody will ever be like Diana, but they're beautiful. And here they are again. And again. A little bit different on the dresses, but I get it. It's off the shoulder and a lot like Diana. She looked absolutely stunning that day. I'll never forget that day. She was superb. Anyway, you truly are Miss Princess Diana, the queen of our hearts.
It's an amazing image of Meghan back in her natural environment and radiating kindness, positivity and goodness. And as you would expect, the amazing dress that she's wearing in this image sold out within minutes, literally, of this image being produced. I'm pleased that she's back to the person that she needs to be and should be after years hanging around with the non-working, charity-stealing British royal family. This is exactly where she belongs, and this image personifies why Harry chose to marry her and why he left the UK sharpish when things weren't working out. Harry and Meghan are going to continue to go on to do greater and greater things. And as they focus on shining a light on the things that we should all be talking about, the dichotomy between the light and the dark of the other people is clear to see.
And with that, I think we've come to the conclusion of this week's video. Just want to say thank you to all of you guys who watch, who comment, like. Thank you so much for being here. A special shout out to Hillary Daniel and Rachel Cherry. And if you enjoy this content and you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do. I'd love to have you. And wherever you guys are, I hope you're all doing well and enjoying this holiday season. Maybe getting your last minute presents in. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.